We're back. We're back. All right, we found our new home for the next 3 days. It's a little tweak town called Jackson, Wyoming. Not Jackson, Mississippi. Not Jacksonville, Florida, but Jackson. It's a big Rockefeller town, apparently. Jody's in the house. Welcome. How are you doing today? Just rolled in to Jackson, Wyoming on the back of a tow truck. So the struggles on the road were getting too much. Hey, Dad, welcome in. So the thing runs great, and then it just stalls flat in its face. So still having carburetor issues. So I'm parked at Auto Tech mechanic shop in Jackson, and everything is a Rockefeller town. Yeah, you're probably correct there. You may be onto something. What do you want, boy? He just had a nice ride in the RV. Well, Josephine is back. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's 5 o'clock here. I guess we're mountain time. So some of you guys are two hours ahead, I guess. But what an adventure the last few days. Like what? We saw that little geyser pop off. I guess that's the last time I talked to you. I can't even remember what day that was. I ended up in Yellowstone for like 3 days. Just continually breaking down. And then I actually took the wrong road out of Yellowstone. I wanted to go to the West Gate into Idaho and ended up coming down to Jackson. But this is a really interesting place. Really cool town. Apparently Harrison Ford is the big dude in town here. According to the tow truck driver, he was dropping some names. I guess he's friends with all the Rockefellers and Harrison Ford. He didn't give me Harrison's phone number or nothing, so. But yeah, just gorgeous country. I've been taking some photos. Thing about Yellowstone, apart from a few certain spots, there's like no cell service. It's kind of ridiculous. I guess maybe the reasoning behind that is they don't want to disturb the natural beauty with cell service, or maybe it's harmful to wildlife, or I don't know. Don't know the reasoning behind that. There's emergency satellite service, which I was able to connect to. Welcome in, Jaime. Larata is in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. What have I got here? I think I'm all out of Dr. Pepper even. No, I had a Dr. Pepper. I know I had a Dr. Pepper. I'm pretty sure there's one left. No, maybe not. Is that one? Is that a Dr. Pepper? Oh, here's. I knew it. I knew I had a Dr. Pepper. Down to my last 3.5 packages of Canadian smokes. I'm gonna have to start smoking the American smokes. Why are you gay? I think you're on the wrong channel. I think you're looking for Grinder or something. But welcome in, Isaac. The doctor ordered me in for an appointment. So yeah, it's been a rough few days on the road, just troubleshooting and trying to tune this car. The tow truck driver actually had some insight, because what it does is when it's cold, it runs like a champ. And then when it warms up, it just falls flat on its face. And he's like, yeah, I had vehicles and, you know, vapor lock was an issue. And some of these old timey guys say just Or he thought he was at the Direct Dookie channel. Yeah. Yeah, go look up Christopher Ruff or Direct D, and you'll find Gay Boys there. So in the chats and on the live stream. So have at it, Isaac. Or stick around here and make your comments, and we'll just see what you have to say. But anyways, I'm parked on the side of the building of Auto Tech, where I got towed in. Oh yeah, but the tow truck driver said vapor lock, you know, just cracking the gas cap off. Maybe this thing is just vapor locked. I'm here now, but they can't fit me in until Thursday. So I'm going to be spending the next 3 days, 4 days in one of the most expensive tourist resorts in Wyoming, if not, like, geez, where would be more expensive? Like, it's crazy here. So apparently a lot of millionaires and billionaires hang out in this neck of the woods. World-class like ski hills here. No snow on the ski hills yet, but there are snow on the mountains. Everybody loves trolling Direct Dookie, but it's not even fun trolling him anymore. So it's just more fun to watch the crash out. Let him crash out on his terms at his own pace. It's not that he doesn't need the trolling. It's just you're getting blocked, and it's not even fun. His chatters are all weird. Whatever. I used to enjoy trolling Direct Dookie, but maybe if I'm like Aiden and I have 50 emails and 1,000 sock accounts, maybe I'll drag out some of my sock accounts and try trolling him. He knows my name, and he doesn't really give me a time of day. They don't even troll anymore. They just straight up insult you nowadays. Yeah, there's no spirit of troll. And to me, trolling involves a bit of wit and humor, biting sarcasm, you know, like junior high and schoolyard talk, right? And that's what I enjoy about the troll community, or the Lorata community. It's like this online chat gang, and some of the trolling can be quite sublime. I don't want to say divine, but exquisite level trolling. It's not just insults and bad nature, like yeah, like Bao was talking about earlier on Smurf Watch. It's like Dookie has settled into this hate community for money, because there's some revenue to be made there, possibly. I don't know. Seeing his views, seeing those channels he bought, seeing channels he's stolen. You know, I don't know, maybe it's very lucrative for him. I don't really care, you know, but Bao was kind of making the same observations, like what's the point of buying up all these channels? And welcome in, Brandon. Apex, welcome in. Thank you for your comments. But yeah, there needs to be like the zinger to the troll. Like you can't just, oh, get off of here, you troll, you're an idiot. Like that's don't even type that in the chat. Just get wrecked, you know. Tweaka. So yeah, that's that. But anyways, I'm here till Thursday. They can't fit me until Thursday. But I've got a 120 volt plug, so I can actually have some heat. There's a rec center in town. I can go have a shower 24 hours a day. There's a grocery store right across the road, so I can have food. So what else do I need? Max needs some treats. He got spoiled back in Grunthal because I would go for breakfast and I'd order an extra sausage just for Max. Just not a whole order, but just one sausage, and that would be his little treat for the day. He hasn't been getting sausage treats as of late. What is this? Get lost. What? Add a question and answer. YouTube has some weird ass suggestions. I just had a banner pop up on my screen. Max has been meeting lots of new dogs. You know, stop on the side of the road or broken down on the side of the road, get out for a walk. People, tons of tourists. Like you saw all the tweakers at Old Faithful there. There's still lots of people cruising up and down the road. They all got their dogs. Well, Jackson looks like an interesting place. Tow truck driver told me which barbecue in town to check out, which I definitely will be. Bubba's. Shout out to Bubba's, even though I never even tried it. Apparently they have really good buttermilk pie. Never heard of buttermilk pie, but we'll probably try some buttermilk pie in the next couple of days. So looking forward to it. So there'll be some Tweak content. There's going to be Tiny Coin live stream content on Pump, because that was the whole point of the Pump project, or the Tiny Coin project scam on Pump, was to document interesting stuff in my travels. And I've never heard about it. It's 1, 2, 3 of us first time we heard of it. So put a 1 in the chats if you've heard of buttermilk pie. Put a 17 in the chats if you heard of peanut butter pie. That's, I think, more of a Midwest thing. When I was driving truck, there was a place in Indiana that made peanut butter pie, and it was fantastic. Brandon Mitchell knows. Brandon Mitchell, another fan of the peanut butter pie. Oh yeah, we got the pie people in here. But yeah, I'll go sample the buttermilk pie, along with whatever barbecue they have. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight, but we'll see. We'll see. It might just be Arby's tonight or something. But yeah, I'll probably grab an Uber to the rec center. Oh yeah, these are my peanut butter people here. Glad to have you. But I got a nice quiet spot. So I can basically live here in the mobile TweakShack until Thursday quite comfortably, until they're ready to have a look at this. And there's all the amenities in town. It's probably just exorbitantly expensive. They said the Super 8 in the peak of the season is like $375 a night at a Super 8. And then there's resorts and hotels, motels downtown that are even more expensive. So that's crazy. So we're just kind of not in the peak season. It might be a little more affordable, but I didn't buy this thing to stay in hotels. But yeah, there looks to be a lot of interesting stuff to do in downtown Jackson, so we'll go for walks as the opportunities arise. But just wanted to check in with you guys. It's almost 5:30. They're just about closing up. And they got a nice puppy here. Eris, I think was her name. Max got to meet Eris, the garage pup. Looks like some kind of, I can't tell dog breeds. It's a nice looking little dog. Not a tiny dog, but kind of like a pointer or something. But that's that. Let's see what, I think this is the backside of one of the ski slopes. There's actually a football field right behind me. the Jackson Giants still. So, here's A1. The backside. Here's the TweakShack. So nice scenery, nice mountain views. I think that's. Oh no, the ski mountain has a big tower and a restaurant at the top. Unless I can't see it from here. But gorgeous day, pretty cool. It's been the same temperature the entire trip, just like it is back home. You know, this time of year, it's in the daytime highs in the mid 50s degrees Fester, 10 degrees Celsius, and then just above or below freezing. So, yeah, investment, of course. Yeah, I'm an investor now. Hopefully this investment is going to get me back home. That's all I can say. But yeah, this house on wheels. And yeah, this whole trip, I haven't been able to plug in anywhere. Like none of the truck stops have plug-ins. None of the national parks had a place to plug in. So I've just been really roughing it, sleeping under lots of blankets and quilts to stay warm. It's comfortable and even without heat, but tonight I'll be able to plug in my little heater and enjoy some relative comfort and have lights and not just use my cell phone for lights. And why didn't anybody tell me I had it backwards? It doesn't suck. I like the experience. Like this is how I live, you know. The comfort is just for my comfort, but all told, it's been pretty comfortable. I'm sleeping great. I think this crappy little mattress with the plywood, like there's no box spring or nothing. I just got the RV mattresses with, I think there might be a mattress topper folded up, and then it's just a piece of plywood with a thin 4-inch mattress on it. Modern day Pioneer tweaker, that is. Tweaka. But yeah, I don't know what I'm pioneering necessarily, but something. Maybe it'll become more apparent once I get some miles on. I've been in touch with Mr. Osgood. He's been concerned. You know, I was expecting to be in his neck of the woods Friday, Saturday, and we're here Monday, and I won't be out there till earliest Friday if they got this thing sorted out. It shouldn't. I don't know. It's only 100 miles to Idaho Falls, and then Boise's like another 100 or 150 beyond that, if I remember. And then he's in kind of middle of Oregon. So, and then from there I'll start plowing my way north towards the US-Canada border, emerging somewhere in British Columbia. I haven't figured out exactly where I'm gonna go back across, but that's the plans. And really, based on the time frame, well, what's the date? The 19th? Where are we at here? The 20th. So 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. If I leave here on the 23rd, 24th or 25th in Oregon, yeah, I got to get up to BC and do a quick tour and then head back home. because yeah, I have to be back by November 5th. I got an appointment and I have to renew my temporary license. So yeah, we'll see about how Mr. Osgood feels about doing a live Tweak collab. Dollar store solar rechargeable lights work good. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Like, I wasn't anticipating having all these these vehicle problems, so I figured I'd have time to book ahead and stay in some actual RV parks if I needed some comfort. But yeah, all these little things, like a buddy of mine had a generator he was gonna let me use or give to me, and for whatever reason I didn't grab it. That generator would have come in handy. But everybody's been very nice here, very nice, very helpful, very friendly, unlike those jackass Canadians. I mean, it says right on my license plate, friendly Manitoba, but like my former spouse said, the only thing friendly I find about Manitoba is the wildlife, especially the mosquitoes. But there you have it. Well, Max is friendly. You're a good old Manitoba born and bred doggy, so he's friendly. But there you have it. That's kind of my itinerary for the next several days. Just go make a nuisance of myself in Jackson, Wyoming. Maybe do some auditing of the post office. We'll see. I'll go stand in front of the dispensary and film people. What do you think? What are your guys' suggestions? What should I be looking for and doing in Jackson besides eating barbecue, buttermilk pies, and just roaming at large? There's no snow for skiing, and I don't think I would. I mean, the slope, you're driving into town, the slope is like straight up. Like, and the bunny hill looks dang dangerous too. So thank goodness there's no snow. There's no temptation to do any skiing. But it's quite the resort town. Like, just tons of little cabin resorts, and it's just tourism is everything about Jackson. So we'll see if we can uncover some tweakers that are doing some interesting things that are kind of across the grain, so to speak. I'm always looking for people doing things a little different, a little tweaky. So we'll see what kind of tweakers there are in the neighborhood. But I'm looking forward to the next few days. It's a delay, but it's not a big deal. I'll just have to hustle back once I get back on track. So there'll be a more opportunities for live stream. Like I said before, in Yellowstone there was no possibility of doing any streaming other than at certain spots like Old Faithful and a couple of the villages. Like, they gave me a map when I pulled into the park, and it had areas where there were cell phone coverage, and it's just very small patches. And very beautiful park, nice drive. Most of it was me on the side of the road tinkering with the truck here. Your wife is watching Yellowstone DVDs this week. It's nice to see it before it blows. Where am I from? So hell. I am from a little town called Grunthal, Manitoba, which means Green Valley in Low German or High German. I think it's Low German. But I'm currently in Jackson, Wyoming. So Grunthal, Manitoba, that's southeastern Manitoba, right in the center of the landmass known as Canada. So in between Ontario and Saskatchewan. I'm gonna check this out. You're from Iran. I used to have a roommate from Iran. The Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Remember that Simpsons episode, like season 2 or 3, where they were watching CFL football, Canadian Football League, and it was the Saskatchewan Rough Riders against the Ottawa Rough Riders. It's like two teams with the same nickname in the same league. That was hilarious. I think the Rough Riders changed their name. Ottawa, I think they're the Ottawa. I don't even know. I don't know much. Yeah, when I was in university, I met a guy from Iran, and he was sharing a place where I was staying. So, nice guy. I think he ended up moving out to British Columbia. Maybe I'll see him. There were a ton of people from Iran at the University of Manitoba. I am not aware of your service between Israel and Arabs. So there you go. Thank you for your service. I'm not much up on world events. A lot of it is whatever I get through YouTube. So I don't have much to say about that, but glad to have you here. But there were a ton of Iranian students, especially in engineering. My buddy Mehdi was in linguistics. I found that to be an interesting field of study. I don't know there's a ton of demand for it, but linguistics itself can be quite interesting. Never was motivated enough to go deep into it, let alone take a degree, but he was working on his master's project with his postgraduate degree, and he wanted to get his PhD in linguistics. So he was having issues with his advisor here, and he ended up tweaking off to British Columbia, or that's what he said he wanted to go. So we'll see if he made it there. Maybe I'll run into him somewhere. Welcome in, Carmen. Carmen says hi. Well, I'm saying hi back. The good doctor says hi. Max says hi. So yeah, we're safe and sound. We found safe harbor at Autotech. Shout out to Autotech Automotive in Jackson, Wyoming. And then we'll be shouting out to, what was it? Barney's or Bubba's? Bubba's Barbecue? Bubba's. You ready for some Bubba's Barbecue, Max? He's always ready for barbecue. So it'll be a while before we have another ribeye live stream. I missed those ribeyes already. I've just been surviving on snacks. Everything's so expensive, and I haven't been able to stop it and just peruse the local places. Oh yeah, Dr. Pepper, coffee, and then Dr. Pepper Light, which is filtered, ozonated, reverse osmosis drinking water. So my diet has been crap for the last 4, 5, 6 months, but I feel great. So maybe it's all the additives and preservatives. maybe it's the nicotine. I don't know, but I'm feeling pretty good. All things considered, right, Max? Max has been having a steady diet of his kibble and the occasional sausage link. And then bites of pepperoni off my ready to eat, ready serve pizza at the truck stops. But there you go. So yeah, I anticipate doing a pump stream tomorrow morning, and then YouTube streams throughout the next couple of days. Just if I come across anything interesting, I'll turn on the iPhone and let you in on the fun. But yeah, if you have something you want to see out of Jackson, maybe we'll go see if the Rockefellers are doing interviews. Maybe Harrison Ford is walking around. Watch him tweak out for a bit. What else? I know nothing about Iran other than it looks like a pretty neat place. Now, whereabouts in Iran, if you're still watching Sohail? Yeah, that's what I like about linguistics is you learn these different tongues and dialects, and then you can see the roots between the different languages and language families, and I've never come across a Sohail, so I'm not even sure how to pronounce that properly, so my apologies. Like Brandon Mitchell, I think I'm getting Brandon Mitchell right. Even Jody, if Jody's still there. Is it Jody Shiloh or Shiloh? Shiloh? Shiloh. It's 2 a.m, yeah. So right where I am, my time, it's 6:45 in my home time, but it's 5:45 where I am here in Wyoming. So I'm on mountain time. Mountain man. But thanks for coming in. Get a good night's rest. 2 a.m. YouTubing at 2 a.m. Oh boy. Well, thanks for coming, but I don't recommend YouTubing at 2 a.m. because you're just going to find, well, when I've been YouTubing at 2 a.m, you find people like Christopher Ruff, and that's, you're having a bad night, and that's all there is to watch. But may you have a good evening and best blessings to you. May you find the most interesting and engaging content on YouTube's. Thank you for stopping by. Where's the clock? Yeah, it's 5:45. My time, 5:45 local time. So you're only 8 hours ahead of me, so it's not terrible. But yeah, slowly the RV is coming together. This is kind of the torture test, and unfortunately I've been the one getting most of the torture with all these repairs and whatnot, but it's all good. Like I say, I like getting the experience. It's been so long since I worked on motor or carbureted motors. Vacuum hoses, vacuum hoses everywhere, controlling everything. Yeah, well, you better get your sleeps in. I'm sure tomorrow's a big day for you. Don't know doing what, but well, yeah, I'm just kind of content to sit here and relax for a bit. I so wanted to get here under my own steam, but maybe if I had cracked the gas cap and let some of the, I can't see that. Maybe, I don't know. I would think back in 77, they just vented the gas tanks straight into the atmosphere. Like, there's no emissions control on this thing or nothing. Tons of vacuum hoses. So last few days been tracing all these vacuum lines. Oh yeah, well here's the story. So let's retrace our steps. So I was cruising through North Dakota, just soaring, like cruising down the highway, bopping and tweaking and having a good time. You know, I did a quick live stream from the road in Williston, and 2 months of military, become a YouTuber. We're starting shitcoin on pump.fun. Yeah, that's my saving a little gas to prime the carb, yes, because it would run and then die, and then to get it started I'd have to prime it, but it seemed like the thing was flooding. And so the trouble started as soon as I got into Montana, and I figured, well, it's elevation problems. I need to lean out the carb. And so we tune it, like I got it tuned in Glendive, Montana, where they recommended I just go ahead and get get a new carb. So here, I'll show you. So here's the old, hope there's no more gas in here. I think I poured all the gas out. The Carter Thermo Quad, otherwise known as the Thermo Bog carburetor. And the issue with this one is this plastic bowl. Well, it's not plastic, it's some kind of polymer resin. It's like Bakelite, the things they used to make distributor caps out of. Remember distributor caps? And so this whole thing was vacuum controlled. You know, it had vacuum controlled choke and vacuum controlled idle, like everything. And so I was trying to lean out these idle mixture screws. I don't know. But the problem with these is when they get hot, cold, this base where the bowl is and where the floats live, it would tend to warp. And so you'd develop vacuum leaks and gas leaks. And so the guy I bought this from said he rebuilt this carb. And he may as well have done a very fine job, but it wasn't doing the job. And the guys at RZ, where's RZ? Where's RZ? I think I got their card up here too. Here you go. RZ Auto. Shout out to RZ Auto Repairs LLC in Glendive. So it's not ruined, but I replaced it with what they recommended and what I could glean online. The old Edelbrock 1406 with electric choke. And when I replaced it and installed it, it ran like a charm. But then a few miles, 10, 15, 20 miles down the road, it started doing the exact same thing. So there's something beyond just the settings on the carb. And I tried everything. I was setting the choke to be a little leaner. I was setting the idle mixture screws to be a little leaner. I was resetting the float so that it would let in more gas or less gas. But I mean, I don't have gauges here, so I don't have a vacuum gauge. I don't have a fuel pressure gauge. It may be that it's not getting enough fuel. But the guy put in a new fuel pump, and I could see the new fuel pump. Maybe there's some vacuum control that I'm not aware of that's affecting everything. But they got a guy here. He does carbureted engines, and so he's busy on a transmission rebuild for the next 2 or 3 days. So we're waiting for the master mechanic to have a look. But anyways, I bought this car in Billings, and then was just struggling to get it set up. And it would run when it was cold, just run like a champ. But then it would just start acting up, doing the same thing, stalling, having trouble restarting. And so last night, I ended up a little pull off on the side of the road. Well, actually on Yellowstone, like there's you're not supposed to stop and camp overnight on these pullouts. And through Yellowstone, there's these little paved pullouts and lookouts and picnic sites, and I can't travel on these roads and be a hazard, so I would just shut down and just crawl in the back and go to sleep, and then try to start up in the morning. And then I'd start up in the morning, thing would run great until it didn't. And I would only get maybe 50 miles a day, just stop, start, keep tuning, keep fine tuning, keep adjusting, and nothing was making a difference. But anyways, so that was like the last 3-4 days. It's just pulling off on the side of the road and fiddling with the thing, trying to tweak it. Well, last night I ended up at the Arizona Island picnic spot on US 89, south of Yellowstone in Grand Teton National Park. And I rolled in there. There was still a little bit of daylight. I figured, okay, one more. I'm gonna pull the top off. I'm gonna adjust the floats and get ready to go. Get a couple more hours driving. I was convinced I had sorted out the problem. The floats just needed to allow more gas in, because it wasn't bogging down so much. It seemed like it was starving for fuel. So I peeled the top of the carb off. So on the Edelbrock, I'll demonstrate. There's just 8 screws holding this cover on. You pull it off, and then the floats are just below these 2 wells here, and you can adjust the height of the float. So the fuel comes in here, and then the needle and seats are probably under here. I didn't pull this carb apart. I didn't attempt to rebuild it. But by adjusting the float angle, you can regulate how much fuel the needles and seats allow into the bowl. And it seemed like it was starving for fuel. But I don't think that's actually the problem. I think there's still some vacuum issue or something. But anyways, I had readjusted the floats to the angle I wanted to let in a little more fuel. Went to start up the old Dodge 440. Nothing. Not even a click. And it's like, what the heck? I got 12.7 volts on the battery or more. I forget. I checked it. Battery's not dead. And it's like, what now? So I thought, what could it be? Starter dead? No. Solenoid cooked? I fiddled and faddled around with that for a bit. That wasn't it. And I thought it's probably neutral safety switch. So I found the neutral safety switch right under the doghouse here. And so by this time it was getting dark. Like I couldn't see what I was doing, but I got I thought it was the ignition switch. So I checked. I had voltage at the ignition. The ignition switch All the contacts are fine. Then I started attacking that neutral safety switch. And so I was jiggling the wire harness, and sure enough, there's like a loose connection there because I started getting a little bit of clicking on the starter. And it's like, yeah, there's a bad wire down there. So shut it down for the night. Woke up first thing this morning, went for that wire harness, and there was here comes the boss. That's Rob, the shop manager, or I guess the service writer, technically call him. Oh, maybe he's not even the service writer. Back in the old days, mechanics were the service writers, but now they got people doing the service writing. So yeah, we're doing a mechanic carburetor clinic here now. So I was going to show you this thing. So they had one of these spliced in, eh? So you crimp poke the two wires through, and then you close this. Maybe you can see it better on this one. This one is not used. These wire clips. So you poke the two wires in, and then this little spade connector slices through the wires. Once you close the top here, it pushes down, pierces the insulation on the wires, and they had that. Something was, I guess it was the ignition wire, was tapped into that line, into that wire harness. I guess they ran a new wire. Maybe the wiring harness was cooked at one time and they didn't want to unravel the whole wiring harness from the transmission to the battery. But I stuck a new one on there because I had a couple of spares. That was the best I could do. That's not how I would have made a connection there, but I didn't bring all my tools with me. I brought just enough tools to get by. And it's basically a socket set, a Leatherman, a pair of pliers, a hammer, a pair of vice grips, some pocket knives, like screwdriver. So considering I've got next to nothing but some basic tools here, I've actually done not too bad for myself. But yeah, what I would have liked to have had is a vacuum gauge and a fuel pressure gauge. But yeah, woke up at Arizona Island picnic site this morning. Started working on that, got it fixed, went to start the motor, and ended up killing the battery. Just cranking and cranking and cranking. It didn't want to start, even with priming. So now what? Okay, well, surely somebody's going to come along. So I made a couple of cups of coffee, had a smoke, fed the dog, went for a walk, and eventually somebody stopped by and was like, hey, can you give me a boost? Yeah, sure. So a couple of couples from Ohio. So they were doing some sightseeing, some late fall, traveling, vacationing, touristing. And they were on their way to Yellowstone, where I had just come from. And so they popped the hood on their Land Rover or whatever it was. Nice fancy machine. I pulled out my booster cables, hooked it all up. It's not charging the battery. It's like, what the heck? Tried cranking it. It's just as dead as it was before they showed up. Well, that's friggin' weird. And I know the battery is good. And they're like, maybe you need a starter, maybe you need a battery. It's like, maybe, but I don't think so. Like, I hadn't killed the battery with lots and lots of cranking up to now. But I did crank for quite a bit this morning. And so they went on their way. And after that, it's like, what's going on here? So I went to the positive. I was checking all the connections, the ground connection. I didn't check the chassis ground, but I checked the body ground. I checked the starter cable to the solenoid. I checked the cables to the starter. And then went back to the positive battery post. And it's got one of those, what do you call it? Battery connector, where you clamp the connector and then there's another clamp where you put your starter wire in and your ignition wire. And one other wire that supplies 12 volts, like to the cigarette lighter and your courtesy lights. So there's a few places that have 12 volts all the time. And so there's always 12 volts to the ignition. There's always 12 volts to these accessories, and there's always 12 volts to the starter. And dang it, if those wires, those cables, those three wires, the starter, ignition, and accessory cable, they were loose in there. I could jiggle them around. I'm like, gee, well, that's why the battery wasn't charging, because I checked the cable connections, or the clamps on the battery. They were tight. I just tightened them last night. I thought there's no reason this thing isn't charging. But sure enough, those cable clamps on the battery clamp itself were loose. So I tightened those up, and then Park Ranger, Grand Teton Park Ranger showed up, gave me a boost. We got it started, and then the thing wouldn't idle. So we got it to idle. I've decided to fiddle with the carb one more time. I fiddled with it, and again, ran like a superhero. I mean, and then it just died again. So I've had enough. So I called up AAA, said, send me a tow truck, please. I'm done with this. It's not safe for me to be cruising up and down the road. Yeah, you know, it's, I had to give up. So, so I gave up. I gave up on this thing. Let the experts deal with it. I figured I got more miles to go. And yeah, I had a comment in regards to direct dookie there, but it slipped my mind. So faster than a direct dookie trying to climb a diaper mountain, or faster than Christopher Ruff could keister a phone, I guess. And then say, no, it was great. I got to talk to my mom, my sisters. It was really good. Shout out to the butt phones. And butt phone subscribers, aka Christopher Ruff and Direct Dookie's chat members. I'm sure they're all like, who does plans for butt phones? Is that Verizon or AT&T? DirectD's chats would be able to tell you. I'm no expert on that. So it's all just hearsay. It's just stuff I've seen on the internet. Stuff I heard on YouTube. I was watching like 20 minutes ago. So you tuned into the Carter Edelbrock Carburetor Clinic. But thanks for coming in, Joe. Joe was formerly in Montana, and you're not in Montana anymore, I take it? I forget. Some of these conversations kind of slipped my mind. But you were the guy that was in the Miles City area, right? But yeah, looking forward to connecting with Mr. Osgood. I should send him a text, let him know. Actually, I'll do that right now. Okay. So, let's see. Truck's still running stupid. I'm in Jackson for a few days. Unless he's watching. Maybe he already knows. All right. There we go. Send it. Yes. Send it. It's sent. But yeah, Montana was great. Everything was great. Like, of all the places to be broken down, like, it's just gorgeous out here through all these locations. So no regrets there, even if I did buy a vehicle that needs some constant attention. Hopefully we're getting it sorted out. I wanted to get it all sorted out anyway, but I was under the impression it was road ready, and it wasn't giving me any problems until literally I got into Montana. So yeah, it's good to shake out all the flaws and get it all sorted out. Well, I broke down plenty in Montana, but it was not an entirely bad experience, other than, well, road grimy and need a shower. Spending the night on the side of the road in places where you're not supposed to spend the night on the side of the road. So it's interesting. Nobody really gave me a hassle. Park rangers were stopping by to see if I was all right. It's like, yeah, we know you're here. Yeah, just get out of here as soon as you can, please. And they didn't give me a hard time. They were all very nice. But it's handy if you're broken down in your house. You just, okay, I'm broken down. Let's go to bed. So. But yeah, we're broken down in comfort. And the thing still runs. Like, I can start it up, and I'm not necessarily going to drive it around town. I'll get an Uber or something here. But what time is it? Oh, 6 o'clock? Yeah, it's going to be getting dark already. So maybe I'll just leave everything for the morning. This time of year, they let you camp up at Glacier National Park for free. Yeah, well, everything in Yellowstone was shut down. So let's see. At Old Faithful, the gift shop and cafe and gas station was still running, but they, in some of the villages there, they've got, full auto service and cabin rentals and RV parking. All that's shut down already for the season. So even if I wanted to, because I stopped in at, the thing is called Sheffield's Ranch. As soon as I got into Grand Teton National Park, which is just across the, like, once you leave Yellowstone, you're essentially in Grand Teton. And they had a convenience store and a gas station. That's all that was open. So no overnight parking anywhere. So I was determined to get to Jackson last night, but it just wasn't going to happen. So we made it today on the back of a tow truck. Just I didn't want to give up, but I saw this wasn't going to get any better under the strategy I was employing. So it's like, let's get this thing fixed, and then if it doesn't work, I'll have somebody else to blame. Well, I do have AAA or CAA, Canadian Auto, whatever. So I have a coverage. So I don't know what the bill was. Somebody else is paying for it. And with the RV coverage, it was $200 for the whole year, which Canadian dollars. So that's not too bad. It was an extra $67 for the membership to have RV coverage. So I figured that's going to be worth it. When you're driving a 1977 Dodge Winnebago, worth every penny. So I don't know what the cost of the tow was, but it was maybe 30 miles of towing from a local Ron's towing service here. Shout out to Ron's with their fleet of 11 trucks, I believe it is. So we got the Dodge 440 got towed by a Ram 5500 with the Cummins diesel. So worked out well. And tow truck driver Scott was very nice. Shout out to Scott. Shout out to his recommendation on the buttermilk pies, which I'm looking forward to. Joe, do you know about buttermilk pie? Nobody in the chat has ever heard of buttermilk pie. So I don't know if that's a local thing or what. I'd never heard of it. But Scott was raving about the buttermilk pie at Bubba's Barbecue. So we'll check that out. We'll do a food review for all you YouTubers who just have to know. Actually, I gotta probably go pick up all my cigarette butts. There's probably some ordinance against the cigarette butts on the ground. Huckleberry. Gotta love the huckleberry pie. Max is a big fan of huckleberry pie. He's a fan of anything you stick in front of his nose. But there you have it. That's the update. Just want to let everyone know I'm safe and sound, and I'll be tweaking out in Jackson, Wyoming for the next 3 days. So there'll be a little bit of YouTube content, a little bit of pump.fun content, live streams there. See, maybe we can find some locals, do some interviews. Yeah, there's this restaurant at the top of the mountain. I don't know, that looks like a daunting hike though. Like the ski hill is literally like, Scott, the tow truck driver, was saying that at the end of the ski season they do a snowmobile climb, and it's like, it looks like, it's better than a quarter mile. It's probably half. I don't know what the peak is. Quarter mile for sure. And it's like straight up. And he said it could be like rodeo clown days, because it's not the sleds that make it up that are entertaining. It's the ones that almost make it up. And they have catch nets so that some of these big snow machines don't roll on you and stomp the crap out of you. But he says it's a bit of a shit show when the guys can't make it all the way to the top. So. Safe? Well, yeah, safe is, I guess, a relative term. I'm in safe harbor here. I appreciate your well wishes and kind wishes of luck with the repairs. I want to see this sorted out, so we'll see what Master Mechanic has to say on Thursday. And so yeah, I think we'll shut it down and catch up with you probably tomorrow sometime. Now that I have time to kind of settle down, not worry about the RV and the camping situation. I mean, they're letting me stay in their lot and use their electricity basically until I can get this thing looked at. Bear spray is cheap. Yeah, I saw they had bear spray in the Walmart in Laurel, which is Billings. Laurel is shout out to O'Reilly's in Laurel, Montana, and Walmart Supercenter right next door. I was looking around, but yeah, we don't have bear spray up in Canada. Or they had pepper spray, or did they have bear spray? Yellowstone had all kinds of bear spray for sale. I don't anticipate seeing any bears in Jackson. I need some TweakShack spray, some smurfing spray. But doesn't look like there's too much to be worried around here. I imagine the local authorities run a pretty tight ship around here, so I'm really the only riffraff that anybody would be concerned with. But I'm just annoying. So, but annoying can get you smurfed as well. So we'll keep an eye out for smurfing and getting smurfed. But I don't intend to smurf anybody. I was gonna do I put this challenge out a while ago on Smurfwatch that I would smurf myself on a live stream for a badger token. So nobody's taking me up on that challenge. And I want to do the 1 chip challenge too. I haven't seen any 1 chips. I don't know where you get them. Is it like, are they behind the counter? Like, I don't see them on the shelf, so I don't know where you get the 1 chip challenge chips from. So I was gonna do one of those on a live stream. Free content, of course. No, but yeah, for a badger token, I would smurf myself with some pepper spray. So we'll see. And yeah, if anybody wants to get in on the badger token game, I've got slivers for sale and sliverettes, because I do have a bit of a pile I'm sitting on. I don't need all that tokenage. But to get people in the game, I'm offering slivers for $50 and sliverettes for $10. That's kind of the ongoing price. Just to get your foot in the door. I'm not selling whole tokens, but I have about a token I can spare. So if there's people who want slivers, which is 1/10 of a token, or sliverette, which is 1/10 of a sliver, or 1/100th of a token, I've got some available. So there you go. And keep your eyes on the YouTubes for Smurfwatch and Clash with Bao. Shout out to the Vietnamese veteran, Skullface. The Skullface Badger, aka Patches, aka Flops, because he always wears flip-flops, apparently. I don't know, I've never seen his flip-flops. It's just something I heard on the internet from Bao himself. Buddy Bao. Buddy Bao. Yes, James Freeman's boss. So, yeah, keep an eye out for Flops on the live streams. I like that nickname, Flops. I'm going to have to come up with some nicknames for myself. Or you guys can come up with it. Someone asked me if I have a nickname. It's like, I don't know. I had a buddy who used to call me Bill, and he used to call me Bird. Same guy. Billy Bird. I don't know how he came up, but he had a nickname for everybody. He was just one of those guys. You meet someone and immediately assign a nickname to him. Oh, Dr. Pepper. But yeah, Bow's the badger. And Flops apparently. But I'm just going on his testimony. Creeper W. I saw that. Creeper W. Dr. W. Oh no, Dr. PP. Maybe Dr. PP. This thing makes me pee-pee a lot. Which I gotta do right away, so we will be cutting this short on account of PP. And as usual, we'll be keeping our eyes out for tweakers. So if you know of any tweakers in Jackson that I need to hook up with, tweak out with, by all means, let them know I'm in town at the Auto Tech Service Garage, where they're gonna fix up my baby here, get me rolling again. So, I mean, I thought I had it licked when I was pulling out of that Arizona Island picnic area. I thought, all right, I got it fixed, because it was just running like a dream. And then 10 miles down the road, just bah. That's what everyone drinks from Texas to Saskatoon. Shout out to Saskatoon. Sure, there's a lot of Saskatchewan Roughriders fans in Saskatoon. I'm not a Saskatchewan Roughriders fan. I saw this in a thrift store and I thought, when I go to Alberta, my brother, he's a Winnipeg Blue Bombers fan, and Edmonton, well, they don't call them the Eskimos anymore. I think they have to change their name because that's insulting to Indigenous people or something, or First Nations people. So the Edmonton idiots or something. I don't know. But yeah, this would cause a festering. Big sports ball fan, so yeah, this would get me blocked. Let's put it that way. So there would be a triggering and a festering and worse, possibly some keystring as a result of that. Not on my part, but just me being an agitator. It's good. I've been taking a bunch of agitation for years, and it's like, yeah, we'll see. I actually don't think I'm going to be swinging up to Edmonton on this trip, just for time's sake. But because I'm planning to go through BC, go through Calgary, meet up with a friend there. I don't really have family in Calgary that I need to, like maybe some distant relatives. I was going to go up to Edmonton, do visiting with family up there. But since I'm going back to Grunthal and will be coming back west, possibly with my Power Smoke Super Duty Ford pickup truck, I might see if I can leave this TweakShack, mobile TweakShack, in maybe even Calgary, or depend. I don't know if I can leave it in BC. We'll see. And then just rent a car, take it home, and then pick up my truck with a U-Haul with my stuff, and then just come back with the truck. And then I'll do my visiting in Edmonton on the trip back. Because it's going to be too rushed. By the time I finally get to Calgary, I would swing up north to Edmonton and then come home from Edmonton. I think I'm just going to snoop around BC for a few days and then try to make it home in fairly good time, depending on when I get to BC. So that's because I won't be leaving here until probably Thursday late. I mean, maybe he'll have it done by lunchtime or something, or maybe they'll be able to squeeze me in. But I'm kind of counting on being out here until Thursday lunchtime minimally, possibly later. And then a day or two, barring any mechanical problems, to Oregon. And then a day or two to Vancouver. I may end up skipping that trip to Vancouver Island, depending on time's sake. And then I got to be in central BC for a few days, and then Calgary, and then back to Grunthal. So $2.50 an hour. I didn't ask, but it could very well be. Could very well be. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe they've got tourist rates. I think the place in Glendive, their shop rate was about $130 an hour, which is, I think, average or typical nowadays. I don't know if there's a tourist premium on shop rates in Jackson, but everybody's busy here. Like I called a couple places, they either didn't want to work on it, or one guy said he was booked up until November 10th. He said, yeah, I can look at it, but on the 10th. So I don't know, maybe he was misreading his calendar, but that's like 2.5 weeks away. 3 weeks away. So you can't look at my carb for 3 weeks? That's crazy. I didn't ask him what his shop rate was. But yeah, there's quite a few mechanic shops around here, but this is the one that was recommended by AAA, and they warranty the repairs, so we'll see. So I guess I'm understanding that even if I broke down he's answering the phone instead of fixing stuff, yeah. Well, you did refer me to another garage. This is the garage AAA recommended. There was another garage, A1 Auto, that was kind of referred to me, but they were busy too. So there you have it. But my understanding is it's AAA warranted, so even if I break down the road, I take it to another AAA approved shop, and they would take care of me. So, eat anything interesting yet? Nothing. No, it's just been snacks and kind of whatever I had in the truck. Not a lot of food. I didn't bring a lot of groceries with me. I haven't been able to sample any of the fare because through Yellowstone everything was closed down. I had that bison bratwurst on a bun, a white bun, and a handful of chips yesterday, or whenever I was at whatchamacallit, at Old Faithful. That was a couple of days ago. And then last night, I just had whatever they had at the convenience store at Sheffield's Ranch, Grand Teton. So they had it's end of season, so they had a bunch of stuff on sale. So I picked up, it was just trail mix, so it was $3.97. Yeah, and a regular was like $8 or something for a little bag like this. And they had a roast beef sandwich that was marked down, and some other little snacks that were marked down in price. So I just shopped all the sale items they had at the convenience store that they were trying to get rid of. So, well, that's it. I think we'll call it a night. And yeah, I'm just gonna settle down and relax here. Make a few pots of coffee. See if any Smurf watching is happening later this evening. I can have a shower tomorrow. There's no rush to get anything done here. I got my snacks. I got some buns. I can make some peanut butter sandwiches. Yeah, it was a nice day. Well, I got some nice pics on the road too. There was like these big look like storm clouds coming over the mountain. I'll have to post some of those pics on, yeah, just the community page for posts, just so you guys could see what I'm seeing out here. Some glorious, glorious vistas and landscapes out here. Interesting stuff. The thumbnail. You saw a TweakShack. That's Cinnamon Cabin. I forget the name of the guy who built it, but it was a historic site, Cinnamon Cabin. So people used to live in little TweakShacks like that. But anyways, it's just partly cloudy. Sun's going down, and Max is ready for supper. I'm ready for my snacks, and so we'll catch up with you on the next one. Okay? Stay tweaky.